Good afternoon. I am Andy Sullivan. This is my Blendertainment vlog for, well, Thanksgiving week. Let's take you back for a little bit. Last week, November 20, was the 15th Annual CMA Awards. There were 31 first-time nominees. And as far as the awards, Billy Bob Thornton and Mark Colley presented Single of the Year to Chris Stapleton's White Horse. It was his third win for Single of the Year. Afterwards, Megan Maroney performed Am I Okay? Song of the Year went to White Horse by Chris Stapleton. Musical Event went to Ella Langley and Raleigh Green, who later performed their winning song, You Look Like You Love Me, which I really like that song. Probably my favorite song in country music right now. And Thomas Rhett and Teddy Swims performed Something About a Woman. It's my first time hearing that song. Song sounded to me similar to a 70s easy listening song, which I dig. They then performed Lose Control. Luke Combs performed Ain't No Love in Oklahoma from the soundtrack of the Twister remake. Cody Johnson and Carrie Underwood performed I'm Gonna Love You. Chris Stapleton then performed, and then Casey Musgraves performed The Architect. I was starting to realize that the CMA Awards was more of performance than awards, which, all right, cool. But we're getting to the awards. Brooks and Dunn and Jelly Roll performed Believe off of Brooks and Dunn's Reboot album. Really good album if you don't have it. I did not buy the CD. Does anybody buy CDs anymore? I've added it on Spotify. It's really good. Post Malone then performed. Here we go back to the awards. Vocal Group of the Year went to Old Dominion. This was their 7th win for Vocal Group of the Year. Album of the Year went to Cody Johnson for Leather. It was his first win for Album of the Year and first CMA win overall, which that's huge, that a relative newcomer, I don't know how many years he's been around, but not very long, but to win a huge award such as that is pretty big. Vocal Duo of the Year went to Brooks and Dunn. That was their 15th CMA award. Lainey Wilson performed 4x4 by You. Bailey Zimmerman, who I thought when he came out was one of the Florida Georgia Line guys, performed next. I thought, hey, which Florida Georgia Line guy is that? But no, it wasn't. Lainey Wilson sang a verse of Amarillo by Morning in the George Strait tribute. Jamie Johnson performed George's song Give It Away. Miranda Lambert performed George's hit Troubadour. Parker McCollum, George, and Chris Stapleton sang Honky Tonk Hall of Fame. Chris then presented the Willie Nelson Lifetime Achievement Award to George Strait. Ashley McBride performed Chris Christopherson tribute, Help Me Make It Through the Night, that he wrote. I know it from others performing it, but I know he wrote it and he performed it first. Little Big Town and Freddie Freeman presented Male Vocalist of the Year to Chris Stapleton. This was his 8th win for Male Vocalist. Eric Church sang Darkest Hour with proceeds of the sale of the song going to North Carolina Hurricane Relief, which I think is pretty cool. Female Vocalist of the Year went to Lainey Wilson. This was her 3rd win for Female Vocalist of the Year. During her acceptance speech, the camera panned to all of the women Lainey beat. Wow. I don't know if that was planned or what, but that was pretty funny. Kelsey Ballerini didn't look very happy about it. Let me just say that. Of course, I know that she is one to chastise fans who say that. So it's a good thing that she doesn't listen to podcasts from fans. Let's see, next up. Jelly Roll and Keith Urban performed Jelly's hit Liar with Keith on guitar. Good stuff there. Dierks Bentley performed American Girl off the Tom Petty tribute album. Jeff Bridges presented Morgan Wallen with Entertainer of the Year. It was a pretty quick fix because Morgan Wallen was not in attendance for the show. So basically, Bridges accepted on his behalf. Now, as far as football is concerned, I don't know if you guys are Tennessee Titans fans, but it's not good. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not good. Yesterday, let's see, there are 18 weeks in the season. Yesterday was... Okay, they beat the Texans yesterday, 32-27. Yesterday was only week 12. But they did win. Talk about striking oil, it says on TennesseeTitans.com. Titans came to Houston and beat the Texans in NRG Stadium on Sunday, turning H-Town into T-Town in the process. Tennessee's 32-27 win over the Texans was the team's 5th win in the past 6 games in Houston. Titans fans, some of them decked out in Oilers gear, celebrated as Texan fans headed for the exits. In the locker room after the game, owner Amy Adams Strunk was presented a game ball. Feels good, not just for us, but for Miss Amy, defensive lineman Jeffrey Simmons said after the game. Just to hear her in this locker room with tears in her eyes, how much this means to her. That's the reason why I, especially myself, go out and give it my all. We had the mindset to let this game mean a little more and play for our owner. This was for her. In what has been a frustrating season, this was a nice highlight. Yes, frustrating indeed, because the Titans are 3-8. But on this day, it was fun to celebrate in Houston. He continues, our coach gave us a speech this week about how much this meant to Amy and her family. Cornerback Jarvis Brownlee Jr. said. He told us the history, so this game was a little more personal because of the rivalry and because of Miss Amy as well. We just wanted to come out here and give our all for Amy in the city of Nashville. Titans quarterback Will Levis completed 18 of 24 passes for 278 yards and 2 touchdowns with an interception that was returned for a touchdown. He was sacked 8 times in the contest. Running back Tony Pollard ran for 119 yards, 24 carries, and a touchdown. Calvin Ridley led the team with 93 receiving yards. Nick Westbrook-Akine scored another touchdown. Kicker Nick Felt made field goals from 51, 51, and 56 yards. Defensively, Titans held the Texans running back Joe Mixon to just 22 yards on 14 carries. And they intercepted Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud twice. In the end, The Titans survived some of their own mistakes to win it. The coolest part of the whole game was how this team fought, Coach Brian Callahan said. Our guys did a nice job of not flinching, keeping the blinders down. It was just great to see how our guys fought and finally have a chance to have something to show for it, and that's what I'm most happy about. It was an ominous start for the Titans. Texans returner Damian Pierce returned the opening kickoff 80 yards to the Titans' 19-yard line, and Stroud connected with tight end Cole Stover for a touchdown on Houston's first defensive play to make it 7-0, just 18 seconds into the contest. But Titans responded with 3 consecutive scores of their own, starting with a 51-yard field goal by Folk, which made it 7-3 with 11:15 in the first quarter. After a defensive stop, Levis then executed a beautiful 10-play, 89-yard touchdown drive that he capped off with a 38-yard touchdown pass to Westbrook-Akine, making it 10-7. When the Titans got the ball back after another defensive stop on their own 5-yard line, Levis guided the Titans 95 yards on 6 plays. A 63-yard pass to Ridley jump-started the drive, and a 10-yard touchdown run by Pollard capped it off to make it 17-7 with 11:03 left in the second quarter. Texans cut the lead to 17-14 on a 5-yard touchdown pass from Stroud to Nico Collins with 6:17 left in the second quarter. Following a critical fumble on a botched exchange from Levis to Pollard, the Texans tied the game on field goal to make it 17-17 with 3:24 left before halftime. The Titans kept swinging. After an interception by Brown Jr., Folk nailed a 56-yard field goal on the final play of the first half to give the Titans a 20-17 lead at the break. Levis was 11 of 12 for 177 yards and a touchdown in the half, but was sacked 7 times. The Titans got more points on a Folk field goal to start the second half. It was another 51-yarder by Folk, this one capping an 11-play, 41-yard drive to give the Titans 23-17 lead with the 9:08 mark in the third quarter. After Titans linebacker Kenneth Murray intercepted Stroud in Houston territory, it looked like the Titans might take control of the game. But disaster struck not long after, as Levis was intercepted by Texans safety Jimmy Ward, and he returned for a 65-yard touchdown to give Houston a 24-23 lead after 3 quarters. Another special team faux pas, fumbled by return Jaquan Jackson, served up another short field for the Texans, giving them the ball at Tennessee 43. Texans cashed that in for more points in another Fairburn field goal. This one for 54 yards to take a 27-23 lead with 9:46 remaining in the game. But the Titans got off the mat in grand fashion. Tight end Chico Okonkwo caught a short pass from Levis, and he turned it into a 70-yard touchdown by outracing a host of Texans defenders in the end zone to make it 30-27 with 9:35 left. A missed field goal by the Texans that would have tied it. Critical sack by Simmons. Titans celebrated in Houston once again. The Titans return to action next Sunday at the Washington Commanders. It feels awesome, Levis says. A lot of people have been working hard to get a win like this, and I'm just happy from top down, the whole organization. It was good to come here and get a win. Now, like I said, December 1st is their next one at the Washington Commanders. The game is going to be on CBS. Now, hopefully, that game will be on Paramount Plus. I say hopefully because yesterday's game, which was a CBS game, was not on Paramount Plus, which odd. I found odd. Next thing, we're going to go to Kentucky basketball. The Kentucky Wildcats are 5-0. Unbelievable that we're undefeated after 5 games under first-year coach Mark Pope. Their last 2 games were, let's face it, tune-ups. I mean, excuse me. Kind of need a tune-up after a 77-72 win over Duke in Atlanta, Georgia. So they got a couple. Tuesday the 19th, they thrashed Lipscomb 97-68. And Friday the 22nd, they took out Jackson State 108-59. Their next game will be against Western Kentucky tomorrow night, Tuesday night, November 29th, on ESPNU at 5:30. Special 5:30 start time for that one. And then their next game is Friday the 29th against Georgia State, which will be on SEC ESPN Plus at 6 p.m., which is the day after Thanksgiving. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Cats will definitely have a great Thanksgiving because Jackson State, Kobe Brea had a career-high 22 points as number 9 Kentucky cruised past Jackson State 108-59 on Friday night in Rupp. Brea made 8 of 11 from the field, including 5 of 8 from behind the arc, on his way to matching his career best that he set at Dayton against SMU in 2023. Kentucky, who, as I said, is at 5-0, had 5 players in double figures in the win. Otega Oweh had 21 points for the Cats, while Jackson Robinson had 14. Lamont Butler had 11 points and 5 assists, while Ainsley Almanor scored 10. The Cats had 29 assists on 41 made baskets and had a 43-7 advantage on fast break points. UK had 52 bench points compared to just 12 for the Tigers. Proud of our guys. I thought they did a ton of great things. It was fun. We got to see everything. We got to see a ton of transition, a ton of shots, a lot of fireworks from our guys. Kentucky got on the board first on a Robinson 3 from the corner. However, Jackson State scored the next 5 points to take a 5-3 lead. Turned out to be the Tigers' only lead of the game, and it just lasted 16 seconds as another Robinson 3 gave the Cats the lead for good. Cats would go on a 15-2 run to lead 18-7. UK hit 4 of its first 5 shots from behind the arc, establish the double-digit lead. Oweh scored 9 points for the Cats as they took a 48-22 lead into the half. UK would be ahead 48-22 lead late in the half. Cats return to action Tuesday, hosting Western Kentucky at Rupp, with tip-off set for 6:30 Eastern. Game can be seen on ESPNU. Going to, and all of this is great for them in the polls. Kentucky is ranked 9th in the AP poll. And hang on, I'm just getting a message. I will be back later with a few more things. Kelly and Fallon, and a little NASCAR review of the playoffs in just a little bit, so hold on tight.